What's going on? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're about to get into this entire contract thing, line by line, page by page. If you're watching, hold on, let me change something real quick. If you're watching, please, it's very important that you guys share out this live. That's why I play music before the show. Besides me doing things behind the scenes, I want you guys to actually share out the live. The more people to hear this, the better. You know, it's for good conversation. It's for education. It's to let you guys know what's going on. I already did the research. Only thing you have to do is just make a choice after I provide you the research, the receipts, and all that other good stuff. So shout out to y'all for tuning in. Now we not gonna waste too much time. We go jump straight into it. Give me 1 second. Like I said, if you're watching, it's very important that you share out this live. All right, let's get into this, man. So as you guys know, you know that you heard, if you didn't hear about the MOU, the wages, this, that, we're going to get into it, break it down line by line. So normally the first thing when you negotiate in a contract that goes with the memorandum of understanding, that's the MOU for those who don't know, they talk about the wages. Now in our case, the wages are 2% for the first year, 2.25% for the second year, 2.5% for the third year, and 2.75 for the last year. Now the problem with this, like I said before, the union only got us 1.84% raises in 4 years. That's very important that you guys understand that, because the MTA was already budgeting 2% per year for us. So before we even sat down at the table, the MTA was willing to give us 8%. And when the union finally sat down at the table, they was only able to get 1.84% more above that in 4 years. That is poor. It's unacceptable. On top of that, these raises don't even match inflation in no form or fashion. It don't match inflation at all. The second line of duty, active service, death benefit. Now with that, for active service, you get $50,000. That's if you get killed or something happened to you. Killed, basically you die outside of the job. Line of duty is that you're dying while performing your duties. Now you see, for active service is you get $50,000. For line of duty, you get $500,000. Now the problem with this is that it's obvious to the transit authority, it's obvious to local 100 that you are worth more dead than alive. Transportation, especially transportation in New York City, is supposed to be some of the most safest jobs in the world, right? We are not supposed to die at work. What happened to Louis Gray was not supposed to happen. What happened to St. Clair Richards, it was not supposed to happen. When we die on a job, it's a tragedy. This is not supposed to happen. It's good that it's there just in case something happens, because we know that the MTA always puts service over safety. But this just shows us that we are worth more dead than alive. They could show us and appreciate us more while we alive by giving us better raises, don't you think? It makes more sense that way. The maintainer bonus, increase maintainer bonus by $150. That's good. That's cool. I'm not gonna hate on that. Now the MTA pass, increase TAOA MTA bus pass to include express bus and MTA bus. MTA bus passes to mirror TAOA. Now, the issue with that is this. We should have been had that. And the reason I say that is because it actually costs the MTA nothing to give us those passes. And I'm going to bring up this document right here from, I think it's from 2017, the 2017 budget. Back then, we were negotiating, I think, for the Long Island Railroad pass. And nobody never really understood, like, why do we have to negotiate a pass for a company that we already work for? We should already have that perk. Well, that's what this document says. Now, ironically, this document came out after we already negotiated something or lost something to get that commutation pass. So right there, I got it highlighted in red for you guys. If you're watching this on your TV screen, this is better because you can actually read what's going on. But if anyone want any one of these documents that I'm showing you guys, I will easily send it to you. Now, what I got highlighted, it says MTA agencies will no longer reimburse each other for represented employee transportation passes. Listen to that again. MTA agencies will no longer reimburse each other for represented employee transportation passes. Now, let's go back to what they negotiated in the contract again. Increase TAOA MTA bus pass to include express bus and MTA bus. MTA bus passes to mirror TAOA. Once again, it costs the TA nothing to give us those passes, so it's not a win. It would be the same thing with Easy Pass. It will cost them nothing, ironically. Even if 70,000 people are not there's 70,000 people employed by the TA. 70,000 people are not using bridges and tunnels. There's a way that they could work it out for the people who live outside the state or whatever the case is. Now, pay attention to this also. There's no mention for everyone who works or drives to Manhattan, you bus operators who work in Manhattanville, especially Quill Depot. There's absolutely nothing in this contract as far as the congestion pricing pass. You get absolutely nothing. So ironically, it's going to cost you more to go to and from work. The MTA bus pass only serves a small percentage of people. It don't serve everyone, right? Just like how Long Island Railroad don't serve everyone, Metro North don't serve everyone. I don't even use the pass myself because it don't serve me. But we should have access to every part of this company for working for this company. Long Island Railroad, Metro North, the express buses, MTA bus, and Easy Pass. It costs the company nothing. I just pulled up the document to show you guys exactly on what I was talking about. Now, the next document we're going to go to is the dental and vision. Increase employer contributions by additional $4 per member per month to dental and optical funds to provide enhanced benefits. Now, this is the issue. $4 per member per month, right? So we talking about for one member, you getting an increase of $48.
Get the fuck out of here!
$48. What kind of teeth you're going to get for 48? What exactly are you going to get extra for $48? It makes no sense. Now, I seen the union put out something talking about extra $1,000 bonus if you want teeth implants. Well, where is it? Because I don't see this I don't see it in the MOU. It's not in the MOU, so it don't exist to me. If you ask me, it was a lie by the union membership because I don't see it here. All right, health benefits. Institute nationwide in-network coverage effective May 16th, 2020. On or about May 16, 2020, co-payments will be as follows. Prescription drug co-pays, generics 0, brand name 20, non-formulary 40. All right. The problem with this is we have to wait one whole year since the execution of this contract, because really the contract goes back to May when it expired, in order to get the nationwide in-network coverage. That network coverage should be instituted right now because our contract is signed right now. It shouldn't be delayed to next May. The co-payments for the prescription drugs. The problem with this is that not every drug is in generic form. So if you have a specialty drug or whatever the case is, you're going to end up paying more money for this drug. And what I see mentioned the most out of this whole health benefits thing is the emergency room. Now they say if you're admitted to the hospital, you would not have to pay that $100 copay. Now this is the truth about the emergency room thing and going to the hospital. You're not going to get admitted half of the time. No matter how, you have to be damn near dying to be admitted into a hospital nowadays. I have a young child, and I mentioned this, I believe, on my last show. My son got bit by a tick. No, he didn't have to stay in the hospital, but he needed to go to the emergency room, and that would have costed me $100. If you have a child who's active, kids break their arms. They're not going to be admitted in the hospital for breaking their arm. A lot of kids and adults, we have asthma. Sometimes our rescue inhalers do not provide us the help that we need. So and going to your primary care doctor doesn't give you that help either. So what are you forced to do? You're forced to go to an emergency room to get they call it a treatment, and then you're released. Every time you do that, if you have bad allergies, especially working for the transit authority, a lot of people suffer from asthma, all types of pulmonary conditions, and that require emergency room treatment. Now, you're going to be charged $100 every time. So if you have kids or you have bad asthma or whatever the case is, I could see someone spending $500 a year on their family just for going to the emergency room, because these urgent cares are not really open 24 hours. And not to mention, when you go to a lot of these urgent cares, they give you a paper of things that they don't even cover by Aetna. And sometimes you're forced to go to an emergency room. That's what that wasn't thought about here. So yes, it was no increase in employee contributions in the front end, but the back end, you will be paying money. You will be paying hundreds of dollars, especially if you're visiting the emergency room. And if you go to the emergency room and you happen to have a brand name drug or a non-formulary drug, you're going to spend more money. So is the 2% really still 2% that we're contributing? No, because we contributing more money in the back end. The fare evasion, we're going to go to fare evasion. The parties agree to meet and confer to work collaboratively on new initiatives as may be mutually agreed upon to aid the MTA in reducing fare evasion. I mean, I'm kind of flabbergasted that this administration would go for that. First of all, fares shouldn't even be on our mind. It shouldn't even be a part of our job. If people want to jump the turnstile, we should not get involved with that. Why? Because it put us in a dangerous situation. And I'm confused as to how Local 100 leadership could forget about this. Crips gang thug gets 20 years for vicious stab slay of bus driver Edwin Thomas. For those who don't know, Edwin Thomas was killed over a fare on a B46 bus on Gates Avenue because of a $2 fare. A guy stabbed him up and killed him. Why would Local 100 even put that in the contract? How can the bus VPs, especially Richie Davis, JP, Pete Risconi, agree to any kind of fare evasion initiative? It's not our job to reduce fares for the MTA or to deter fares. That is not our job. We are not equipped. We get beat up over fares, and just like the situation I just showed you, a bus operator was killed over a $2 fare. That should be a no-go. That should not be in our contract. Overtime equalization. The parties agree that equalization of overtime is an important priority for both the MTA and the union. The parties further agree that the existing contractual provisions will be enforced to achieve this priority. Why would the union agree to overtime equalization? Now, I've been saying to you guys that to the tier 4 pension employees, welcome to tier 6. And what I mean by that is you're not going to be allowed to pad your payroll, to pad your pension anymore. That means that the overtime is going to be going to someone who doesn't get as much overtime as you, and someone who's probably at a lesser pay scale than you. So the way it works in New York City Transit, for those who don't know how transit workers pick jobs, most senior guys, they pick penalty jobs. A penalty job is a job that basically pay more than 8 hours. So you would think that the senior guys, they pick the 10-hour runs, the 11-hour jobs, the those type of jobs, because they want to build up their pension. They'll work a RDO. They'll do things like that. Now, with this overtime equalization, you're not going to be getting, being able to get that RDO, being able to pad your pension, being able to get that late clear. I mean, I don't think that the MTA could really control it like that. But as far as like getting the RDO and things like that, you're not going to be able to do that. And the same thing with tier 6. We are capped at $15,000 above our base salary. Now they basically capped you guys, tier 4 guys, with this overtime equalization. And I did some research about the overtime equalization, and this is what I found. Overtime equalization is an attempt to balance overtime between or among employees within the same job classification within each equalization unit during each 1/2 calendar year. List showing accumulations of overtime within each equalization unit during the preceding 6-month period shall be posted every 6 months. That's what I found on that. So yes, the union gave the MTA a way to violate seniority, to not allow us to pad our pensions so we could retire, and at least retire in a city in which we work in. The union just gave that away, man. And I just don't get it. It makes absolutely no sense to me. New York paid family leave. Language is everything in the MOU. You guys must realize that language is everything. As soon as practicable, as set forth below, members will be eligible for New York State paid family leave. Employers to deduct statutory amounts from wages as capped by law. Parties to form a joint labor management committee to discuss issues relating to interplay between New York State paid family leave and contractual entitlements, FMLA, which will precede implementation. The key word in this is as practicable. That could be with the last year of the contract. That could be the 3rd year of the contract. It could be anywhere in the contract. As practicable, it could mean outside of this contract. It may not be practicable for the MTA to do it. So that language is very vague. I believe if you sign a contract, there should be dates to say when this should be implemented. So when it's not implemented, you could use your avenues to bring the MTA to court or charges or whatever the case is. This language is too vague. And for the New York paid family leave, for those who don't know, it's an employee contribution thing. So even if you don't use it, you're still going to have to pay into it. It's capped at $107 a year. I believe that this is a good benefit. Some people who may not use it may not see it as a good benefit, but you're going to be paying for it. And that means more money out your pocket. And when you think about more money out your pocket, also remember about the health benefit contributions that you're going to be paying more into on the back end. And also think about the raises that's not above inflation that you're going to be paying into. So that's not good. Elevators, TWU Local 100 and MTA will work together to expedite work to help fulfill the social importance to the ADA community of installing elevators in stations that currently do not have them. Why does this have to be in a contract?
Get the fuck out of here!
Stupid. Holiday swap. Lincoln's birthday for day after Thanksgiving. We're not already in place. Now look, the MTA, I must say, They are smart. I mean, I would hope that the union didn't want this. Maybe the union didn't see no issue with it, but I see an issue with it. So, Lincoln's birthday is now a holiday the day after Thanksgiving. So basically, Black Friday is a holiday now, right? So now you have some people who love Black Friday. And this, make no mistake about it, this is put in place to help employee availability, I believe. So you have people who love Black Friday, and some people will work Thanksgiving and call out. If they have to work Friday, they would call out Friday so they could go to Black Friday and do what they got to do, for Christmas or whatever the case is. So now, if you call out on Black Friday, you're going to miss out on two holidays now. You're going to miss out on the Lincoln's birthday, and you're going to miss out on Thanksgiving. So instead of it being a 1-for-1, I miss a day, hey, I just don't get paid for the holiday. Now, if you don't come to work on Black Friday, that's two holidays that you're going to miss. And if you don't come to work the day after that, you're not going to get paid for it. That was bad. I didn't understand that. I wouldn't have done that. Member privacy. TAOA MTA bus to provide privacy envelopes for use by members when submitting documentation with confidential medical information. Why is this in the contract? This is something that Utano, he go to Andy Byford. They have a conversation about it, and they change that policy. That should not be in the contract. And for us, I don't really know. I think it's a form that they submit in buses, but in RTO, when we call out, they still access the nature of our illness. This doesn't address that. I don't think that they should be able to access the nature of our illness. I think that when we call out, we should just say that we sick. And that should be it. Or it should be very general of what it is. What body part hurt? Stomach, head, feet, whatever. I don't think that it should be anything above that, but it don't address that. Now, employee availability. Wait, what's this right here? Let me see. Oh, I want to show y'all this real quick. Let me go back to the paid family leave real quick. Go back to the paid family leave. Just to show y'all, is the maximum annual contribution is $107.97. I need you guys to see that. I really did my research to show you guys that exactly what I'm talking about. But back to employee availability. Implement terms of employee availability improvement agreement attachment A. We will get into that when we get to attachment A. Departmental attach agreements, attachment B. Stations deep cleaning, that's attachment C. So we would get to that. Let me see. Let's look at the other provisions. For the duration of this agreement, in the event any of the employees or the LRR reach an agreement providing for general wage increases greater than those provided herein to another bargaining unit, this agreement shall reopen. It don't mean that we're going to get it. Just mean that it's going to reopen. And what they go reopen to talk the same BS that got us this MOU right here. And another thing, 2.75% on $100,000 is totally different than 2.75% on $70,000. So if they get a 2% raise on $100,000, that's excellent for them because it's still more money than us. So it actually means nothing. It's not really no parity there, to be honest. General, let me see. The MTA will inform its departments, pensions. All right, that's really nothing. Okay, what's next? Oh, this is going to be interesting for you guys. I'm going to show you guys how this union work against themselves. Attachment A, employee availability. The parties recognize the overall impact of employee availability on operations and have agreed to the following. Mutual swaps. Employees will be permitted to engage other employees in mutual swaps without penalty, additional pay, or additional overtime. In recognition of the fact that operational needs vary by department, the parties agreed to meet and review within 60 days of ratification to resolve implementation issues. Now, a lot of people say, oh, Utano has 36, 37 years worth of a union experience. You would think a guy with that amount of union experience would know the contract at the least, right? You would think that he would go through the contract sometime and do things like that. We already had that in our contract from 2002, and I'm going to show you guys that document. And this is the RTO document. As you can see, audio swaps. It's a mutual swap. We had that already in the contract. So why would you put that in the contract again if it's already in the contract? Even with car equipment, as you can see, this is from 2002 also. This was already in the contract. Why would they put that in the contract again as if it was a win or a gain? We already had it in the contract. And in fact, matter of fact, oh, I ain't put the car equipment one up there, but this is the car equipment one. In fact, the problem with the audio swaps or the mutual swaps is that the crew office, especially in RTO, they never acknowledged it. We was always allowed to do it. They never acknowledged it for whatever reason. Okay, back to the employee availability. Group Employee Availability Initiative. The parties will use an average of 2018, 2019 as a baseline to measure overall employee availability for calendar years 2020, 2021, and 2022 and beyond. The party's intent is to evaluate the overall employee availability on an annual basis. The parties anticipate that at least 1.5 day improvement in employee availability will be achieved. For each additional improvement above 1 day in overall employee availability, the union and the MTA will share equally in savings as they shall each determine. The parties will meet and confer to determine the baseline, the anticipated improvement, and periodic quarterly updates on overall employee availability. Now, this is very vague. There's nothing here. I'm still confused on how they plan on improving employee availability. How are they going to do that? I believe that this is a concession. I believe that sometime down the line, very soon, they're going to take something away from us. It may be our birthday. It may be something that the union may negotiate away, because I can't see them. How can you achieve employee availability without making a change? And in this section, you can't really identify a change as how they're going to improve employee availability. So it makes no sense. Sick leave cash out pilot. The issue with that is it could end after 2020. You see how these pilot programs that favors that the MTA don't really want to do. They always have some type of expiration date on them. But when you looked at the pilot program of, as they call it, the rubber room, when you get an IOD or whatever, there wasn't no expiration date on it, or at least I didn't see one. But there's an expiration date on this. So the sick leave cash out pilot could possibly be done January 1st, 2021. So if you think about retiring, I think that they trying to get you guys out the door. You see what they doing with the overtime equalization, and you see what they about to do with the sick leave cash out pilot. I think they trying to get you guys who can retire out the door. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We're going to go into attachment B. It's cool if you guys actually had the contract going through it while I'm going through it too. I think that would have been pretty dope. Health and safety. The following agreements have been made with the TAOA MTA bus regarding matters relevant to the Health and Safety Committee. Local 100 will be notified in advance of the introduction of all chemicals and or tools before these items are used. This is how it's supposed to be. This is 2019 and they just figuring this out and putting it in the contract. This is asinine. Stupid. Oh, real quick, continue to invite and share out this group. Start a watch party somewhere, put it on your main page. It's important that not only transit workers see this video, your family, your friends, share out the video. It's important. Car equipment. The following agreements have been made with the TA regarding matters relevant to the members of car equipment. The parties will create a joint labor management committee to explore a promotional path for cleaners. Now, you're going to hear that word committee. You're going to hear that word meet numerous times in this agreement. I really thought that a contract was a meeting on the issues. I didn't know that a contract negotiation was to go to the table and negotiate the negotiation.
Get the fuck out of here!
That makes absolutely no sense. Why would you go into a contract, let it expire 6 months to come back to the table to negotiate at a later time? It makes absolutely no sense. And in fact, why do you need a committee to explore a promotional path for cleaners? Everyone should be able to move up. But historically, if you read the book In Transit by Joshua Freeman, historically, only blacks were allowed to have porter jobs. That's what they called them back then, porter jobs back then. And nothing really changed since then, except that not only blacks have those jobs now, everyone have those jobs, but the same implications are still there. They still don't want you to move up. So the same ideology that transit had back in those days, they are still relevant today. They don't want people, back then they didn't want blacks to move up. Now those positions are encompassed by many nationalities, many races, and the same rules are still there. So I don't understand why they need a committee for that. Cleaners should be able to take any kind of tests, any kind of entry level test, train operator, conductor, station agent. Why do you need a committee for that? The parties would create a productivity committee comprised of equal members from both union and management. Representatives will be selected from CED. The committee will review and evaluate mutually agreed upon productivity gains with the goal of achieving savings to be divided equally between New York City Transit and the union to increase for pay maintainers. So basically what they did to you maintainers, they put you guys on commission. So in the future, when you guys don't get no raises, they're going to point back to this contract and say you guys wasn't productive enough to get the raises that you guys deserve. I don't know how the union allow the MTA to put you guys on commission, but that's pretty insane. Stations, the parties will meet and confer to discuss the impact of Omni on station agents and to discuss alternative deployment that meets customer needs with the goal of providing job protections for the future. Now, this is where technology is going to hurt. The union basically don't have no answer to Omni. The ball is in the MTA court, and they don't know how you guys are going to be deployed. They don't know how you guys is going to be used. I don't think that the MTA is going to have 4 wayfinders in one area greeting passengers. I don't think that that's going to happen. I believe this job is going to disappear throughout the years, especially when Omni is full throttle. And in this contract, station agents got absolutely no job protection, none whatsoever. You guys didn't even get a no layoff clause at all. This contract is very disappointing, and more could have been done in the stations department. The following agreements have been made with the TA regarding matters relevant to the members in the revenue department. The parties will meet and confer to discuss the impact of Omni on collecting agents and to discuss alternative deployment that meets customer needs with the goal of providing job protections for the future. Now, in the case of the collecting agents, is different from station agents. Collecting agents have firearms, they have guns, and I believe they will be used for security. They will be used for fare evasion, deterrence, and for now, I believe that they may be safe. I believe they're going to be deployed through buses and things like that. I think that you guys could be deployed better because you guys got firearms. What's next? MTA bus. In addition to those agreements set forth in the Department of Buses, including maintenance, the following agreements have been made with MTA Bus Company regarding matters relevant to the members in MTA Bus. Various issues that were raised in bargaining will continue to be the topics of discussion between the parties, commencing 30 days after ratification. The parties will meet and confer to continue those discussions. So basically, what the union and the TA is saying, hey, MTA Bus, vote yes for the contract now, and trust me, we got your back 30 days from now.
Get the fuck out of here!
There wasn't absolutely nothing to put in the contract for MTA Bus. MTA Bus still don't have parity with New York City Transit and MAP Stoa. MTA Bus still don't have sick days. MTA Bus still have to wait to get 4 weeks vacation, 10 years. There was absolutely nothing for you guys to negotiate right now with a contract expired 6 months past the deadline to put into the contract for MTA Bus. You couldn't give them parity with TA Surface or MAP Stoa. There wasn't absolutely nothing to do. MTA Bus, I would not trust these guys. They sold you guys out big time, this contract. I advise you guys to vote no, every single last one of them. Do not trust them. Do not believe them. Nothing. Let me see. MTA Bus maintainers will be paid maintainer bonus on the same terms as TAOA, $650. I'm going to tell you the reason behind these bonuses. To be honest, you get paid more money on the outside in the private industry, on the outside world, than you do New York City Transit and any of these maintainer titles. Whether you're a bus maintainer, car equipment, elevator, escalator, you get paid more outside than you do the TA. And a lot of people are leaving and they not taking the job. Some people take the job for the benefits. That's why I believe that the TA tried to make a nationwide health benefit thing now. But they got to give the maintainers a bonus because they are leaving the job to get better paying jobs elsewhere. New York City Transit maintainers are grossly underpaid, big time. They have a special trade, they have a special skill, and the MTA is not compensating them correctly. So they throw in these bonuses for the maintainers, and the maintainers do deserve the bonuses. They deserve more also. So that's why these maintainer titles get these bonuses. Grievance and discipline. The following agreements have been made with the union regarding matters relevant to the members in TA, OA, and MTA Bus. The parties would create a standing committee comprised of 2 representatives from each side to meet formally at least twice annually to address areas of concern regarding the grievance and discipline process. Any changes to contractual procedures will require mutual agreement in writing in order to be effective. Current pilot programs are unaffected by this provision. The parties agreed to amend 2.2 C4C currently from 5 to 7 years to 5 years. Now, this is going to blow you guys' mind. First of all, let me handle the first part. For those who don't know, a standing committee is a permanent committee. It will last. It's permanent. It will last forever. So this is something. Actually, this is one of Andy Byford initiatives to fix the discipline here. So this is one of his initiatives. This is something that he has done. He's pushing. That's why it's a standing committee. There's not another standing committee in this document. That's because this is something that Byford seriously wanted. And it's a good thing. Discipline does need to be reformed here. and it's been a long time coming. Now, part 2, this is going to blow you guys' mind. All the research is done. Trust me when I tell you. The parties agreed to amend 2.2 C4C currently from 5 to 7 years to 5 years. I need you guys, do me a favor. Can you guys please share out the video right now? Can you guys please start a watch party? Can you please put this on your main page? I'm going to give you a second to do that. And then after the show, I'm going to put up a donation link. I need you guys to donate to the platform. I'm going to give you guys a second to share out the show. Now, let me read this again. The parties agreed to amend 2.2 C4C currently from 5 to 7 years to 5 years. Remember what I said. Language is everything. Now, the problem. Let me read this first. This is actually in the contract. This is what they cited in the new contract, and this is in, of course, the old contract. A considerable time period, minimum of 5 years to 7 years between serious violations may on a case-by-case basis be considered as a mitigating factor in determining the appropriate penalty depending upon the severity of the instant violation and only where there is no impact on the safety and welfare of the public or employees of New York City Transit. Language is everything. A considerable time period, minimum of 5 years. So the only thing the union got out of that was the 7 years. So basically, and here it goes again. It's right there, number 2. Basically, they got rid of the 7 and put it from 5 to 7 years to just 5 years. 5 years minimum, not maximum. It should be a 5 years max, because if it's 5 years max, that means after the 5 years, they definitely can't hold it against you any longer. But when you say a minimum of 5 years, then it's open-ended. It's open-ended. So what happens after the 5 years? Remember, you said a minimum of 5 years, not a maximum of 5 years. So if I go out there and I drag someone and I don't get fired, it's a major violation. It's going to be on my record. They can use it against me for a minimum of 5 years, not a maximum. If it was a max, then after 5 years, I got a clean slate basically again. But for a minimum of 5 years,
get the fuck out of here!
Bad for the union. Horrible for Local 100 with that language. That was horrible. It should be maximum 5 years. That's why it's very important when you see them cite things in a contract like this. It's very important to go to the language. The language clearly states a considerable time period, minimum of 5 years between serious violations. It's stupid. It don't matter if it's 5 or 7, really, because they both 5 years, a minimum of 5, like not a maximum. I mean, oh man, it's crazy. Okay. Now let's go to the departmentals. RTO. I'm not gonna spend too much time on my department. Amend sections. Basically, number 1 is if you got more than 15 years, you could pick a week and days, 2 weeks and days throughout the year. I see a lot of people say that this is going to affect VR. I haven't seen that yet. Maybe it hasn't been explained. It hasn't been explained to me properly. But what I see that if you get senior guys actually picking 2 weeks and days, that's less week vacation that they normally would pick. And I think that would actually help the VR people. Now, one thing I have a problem with is giving the guys who have 15 years this chance to pick 2 weeks in vacation is that guys with 15 years could almost pick any day, any vacation that they want off. They can almost pick any day they want off. I think that this provision should have been given to the people who actually got less than 10 years or something like that, because we can't get days off like that. It's hard for us to get days. It's hard for us to get vacation. We can't get the vacations that we want. So I think that the union should have done something for the junior members to be able to get this benefit as well, because senior guys could pick whatever days they want off already. Seniority lists will be updated and posted every 2 years for train operators, conductors, and tower operators. Why is this in the contract? I mean, and the seniority list could be updated every month. It's still not going to mean that I could pick the job that I want if the person in front of me didn't move. It means absolutely nothing, and this shouldn't even be in the contract. I don't consider this a win. I consider this a smokescreen.
Get the fuck out of here!
A pilot program will be developed whereby employees working vacation relief will submit their job bids electronically. The pilot program will be evaluated after 1 year and shall continue upon mutual agreement of the parties. Once again, this should not be in the contract. This helps out the TA. It makes them streamline the bids. They will use less paper. It would be better. This helps out the TA, and I'm quite sure it helps out the employee, but this shouldn't be in the contract. Incorporate mirror terms of the Department of Buses stipulation for cell phone violations. The parties will meet immediately upon ratification to finalize the language for this agreement. So we don't really know what this agreement will say because it's not finalized, but they want us to vote on something that's not finalized again. For those of you who use your phone while operating, then I guess this is a benefit for you because you won't be fired right away or whatever the case is. This does not benefit everyone. And just to be clear, our agreements should not mirror buses. For one, a bus operator on their phone is a very egregious act. In fact, it's against the law for you to have your phone in your hand, period, while operating any motor vehicle. It's not against the law to have a phone in your hand and open and close train doors or whatever the case is. It's not against the law. And besides, the TA give conductors phones. They don't give bus operators phones. So this agreement is perfect for bus operators, but our agreement should actually supersede bus operators because our act, even though I won't even say it's unsafe because the TA give us phones. It's just against the rule, and our agreement should supersede their agreement. And this is good, but it's not a win. It could have been negotiated way better. Eliminate RTO PS 248 pilot program for employees on workers' compensation. Once again, it was a pilot program. What Eric is not telling you, what Utano is not telling you, was that the pilot program was set to expire this year anyway. Pilot programs do not last forever. And in fact, I believe this pilot program was only supposed to last 2 years. And as punishment by the Stand United regime, they kept it in there and didn't fight it and just let it ride and didn't challenge the TA and say, hey, take it out. So that didn't have to be in the contract because it was a pilot program. It was due to expire. It expired, and they just had to say take it out. So it wasn't nothing for the TA to relinquish that. And that's not only for RTO, that's for map store also. The parties recognize the difference between operational violations and infractions related to conduct within RTO. They will meet and confer to discuss the manner in which discipline has been imposed in the past with the goal of reforming discipline to acknowledge the differences set forth above. Again, this is another Andy Byford initiative. Discipline is very egregious in RTO, and that does need to change. So anything in that direction will be good. But this is not Eric Logel initiative. This is the Andy Byford initiative, and he's pushing forward with it, and rightfully so. Maintenance away. Additional release time in power division.
Get the fuck out of here!
Really? Is that all MOW got? Now, MOW consists of track, infrastructure, signals, those guys. I mean, we just had a track worker die on a job in the line of duty. It's a dangerous job. Ducking trains. It's a physical job. It's a grueling job. No hazard pay. You're working around work trains, diesel equipment. No bonus for you guys. You guys keep the trains on the tracks. You guys do a marvelous job. Nothing for you guys. It's embarrassing. And just to be clear, additional release time position in power division. Take a wild guess what department Utano is from. You guessed right. The power division. So sad, man. Traffic checkers. The parties agreed to create a joint labor management committee, another committee, to explore promotional opportunities for traffic checkers. Now, this is the same thing for cleaners. If you work on a job and you're an MTA employee and you have a pass, you should be able to promote to any entry-level position in a TA. Station agent, conductor, train operator, any other bus operator. You should be able to promote yourself to any one of those. Why do they need a committee for that? I mean, this should be simple. They should be able to promote to these entry-level positions, just like someone taking a test off of this the civil service, and they come in the entry level. Why do you guys treat outsiders better than you treat the ones on the inside? Why does a committee need to be made for this? This should be simple. OATA property protection agents. The authority agrees to make best efforts to clean the TPPA booths on a regular basis. The single day daily quota will exclude employees who take their birthdays off. Now, this is another stupid agreement because it's obvious Local 100 do not read the contract and they do not know the law. They don't do any of that. Why you have to put in a contract to work in a clean and safe environment? In fact, once again, this is already in the contract. It was in the 2002 agreement. And I got it highlighted for you guys again. Section 1.9, Safety Committee. The authorities agreed to continue to provide adequate, clean, safe, and sanitary working conditions in conformance with the minimum standards of applicable law. If we got that in the contract already, and it's law, why are you putting it back in the contract?
Get the fuck out of here!
I'm telling you, these guys did not read the contract at all. I'm convinced they did not read the contract. A lot of the stuff that they have in this current contract, we already have it in the contract, specifically under Roger era. Department of Buses. I couldn't wait to get to this. TAOA MTA bus. The following agreements have been made with the Department of Buses regarding matters relevant to the members in TAOA and MTA bus transportation. Increase articulated bus differential to $2 an hour. Let me break this down line by line. You will be getting paid $2 now to drive an extra bus. Driving an extra bus means less runs, lost jobs, and possibly 8-hour jobs because it's 2 buses. So now what they did was they lured you in. They said, we're going to pay you an extra $1. I'm quite sure there's guys that's happy about that. And I believe that the TA is going to start adding more articulated buses to these depots. So more you guys are going to get this extra differential, but it's going to come at the detriment of less runs and less jobs. So you got to really wish, you got to really watch what you wish for. And I believe that the bus differential should be nothing less. Really, if it should be nothing less than $10. You driving, you killing the run. You killing the run, which means that you killing the driver, you killing a health insurance, you killing the pension, you killing the training. You done saved the MTA about probably like $1 million in an employee lifetime. Whenever you kill a run, you killing an employee. So out of all of that, you only get $2 to drive this extra bus. It's not worth it. Number 2, the parties agreed to create a joint labor management committee to continue discussions to explore. Hold on 1 second. I gotta put this up. The parties agreed to create a joint labor management committee to continue discussion to explore alternative training sites for the TAS to a Brooklyn facility such as PS 248. All right. I guess that's good, so you guys won't have to do too much traveling. Employees who have out-of-state CDL licenses will receive reimbursement up to a maximum of $100 for CDL-related medical examinations. Anything that put money back in your pocket is good, especially for the people who do live out of state and drive to work. You're getting killed by tolls, so whatever dollar that you could save, I guess that's good. The parties agreed to create a joint labor management committee with the goal of working collaboratively to ensure that the use of new technologies, including without limitation, the use of autonomous vehicles, will be safely deployed and will continue to recognize the exclusive jurisdiction of the union. The union suggests that following language will be added to the collective bargaining agreements with the committee, which the committee will consider. Now, check this out. I need you guys to listen to this because this is important. Only bargaining unit employees shall operate. Wait, is this it? This ain't only this section is only saying that wait, hold on. Yeah. Matter of fact, this is very important. I gotta read this. Only bargaining unit employees shall operate employer vehicles and other equipment, excluding employer automobiles that have not traditionally been operated by bargaining unit members, when such vehicles or equipment are being used to perform functions previously assigned to bargaining unit employees or functions similar to those that have traditionally been performed by bargaining unit members. Further, this is important. Listen to this, very clear. Further, the employees recognize that any proposed use of autonomous vehicles in revenue service and non-revenue service is a mandatory subject of collective bargaining and is a proper subject for discussions in labor management meetings. That goes on to tell me that not only is the MTA thinking about CBTC, they are thinking about driverless vehicles for buses, which show me that is possibly coming very soon. But why they put that in the contract when we already have that in the contract? Once again, I highlighted it. It falls under new technology, and an autonomous bus will be considered new technology. On a semi-annual basis, the president of Local 100 and the senior vice president of subways and his or her appropriate executive staff will meet to discuss issues of significant technological importance. Additionally, on a semi-annual basis, the president of Local 100 or his or her designee and the senior vice president of buses or his or her appropriate executive staff will meet to discuss issues of significant technological importance. Should the parties agree, additional meetings may be held. Now, basically, what they're saying is that when you have new technology, you gotta have a meeting. We already got that in the contract, so don't let those guys go to these bus depots and say, "Hey, if driverless buses come here, we put it in the contract to make sure they talk with us first." It's already in the contract. It was in the contract last year. Last contract, and don't let them fool you with that BS that they looking out for your best interest, because they not. Maintenance. The parties will create a productivity committee comprised of equal members from both union and management. Representatives will be selected from OA, TA, and MTA bus. The committee will review and evaluate mutually agreed upon productivity times with the goal of achieving savings to be divided equally between the employers and the union to increase pay for maintainers. This is another committee built on commission of the maintainers. They turned the maintainer title into a commission title. That's crazy. Eliminate OAPS 248 pilot program for employees on workers' compensation. Like I said, that pilot program was coming to an end anyway. Women's Committee. The following agreements have been made with the TA, OA, MTA bus regarding matters relevant to the Women's Committee. Once again, if you're watching this video, please share it out. I need for the women, you guys should be disgusted. You guys should be upset. You guys should be appalled. Share out this video. Let's get more people watching right now. The parties agreed to continue the standing committees comprised of members of both TWU Local 100 and management to address issues relating to female employees, including without limitation covered health benefits. Direct supervisors shall be blocked from assessing employee information involved in domestic violence situations. You know, I take back what I said earlier about the standing committee. This is a standing committee also, but this is the problem. They continue in a standing committee to address issues relating to female employees, including without limitation covered health benefits. Once again, how long ago did women start working on this property? How long? It has been at least 50 years now. Between 40 and 50 years, women have been working on this property. Why is there nothing significant for women in this contract in 2019? Why? I mean, no light duty, no nothing. There's nothing that you guys could have put in this contract relating to women. Every woman in Local 100 should vote no, simply because they do not take you guys serious. They don't understand that there's a difference between being a man and being a woman on this property. It's a major difference. Not only on this property, in this world. How you do not put nothing significant in the contract for the women in Local 100? Not one piece of light duty. And once again, this has been talked about already. As you can see, in 2017, I got it highlighted for you. And this is women's issues again for Latanya Chris Soray, the recording secretary of Local 100. I guess she's the leader of the women's issues. This is to memorialize our agreement to continue to discuss the following women's issues: expression of breast milk locations, consideration of pregnancy-related absences and chronic absenteeism charges, policies and procedures for reasonable accommodations, domestic violence prevention awareness, availability and distribution of a work pay status letter upon request of a pregnant employee. This is from 2017. They still did not figure any of those points out. Any of those points out in 2019. In fact, they want to continue the discussion on a discussion. How do you not have anything solidified in 2019? Women been on the property for 40, 50 years. The woman who's representing this part of the contract, she has been here for at least 20 years. At least 20 years. And there has really been no movement on women's issues.
Get the fuck out of here!
Totally embarrassing. All right, this is the subway station's deep cleaning. The parties here too have agreed to permit New York City Transit to perform a one-time deep cleaning of subway stations as a set forth herein. How many times have the MTA said one time? The first time they did it, it was one time. The second time they did it, it was one time. Now during this contract, it's another one time. Now I'm going to show you guys. I mean, not really show you guys, but I'm not going to read every part of that one. I'm going to summarize it. They basically going to be cleaning 160, 180 stations. I don't know why they come up with that number. These contractors are going to set a baseline of the of how they're going to clean, and the actual cleaners are supposed to maintain that baseline, whatever the contractors leave. Now, the union must take into account that when these contractors clean the property, no customers are allowed in the station. They have about 10 employees cleaning the station. There's no train traffic. There's no nothing. So they getting the red carpet rolled out for them to clean. Of course, if our workers had that same courtesy of working 10 to 15 people cleaning the train, cleaning the platform and having all this equipment and no passengers, we would do an excellent job. And we still do an excellent job regarding the circumstances that we do it in. And these union reps, these station reps, they play you guys like you guys are fools, like you guys are dummies or whatever the case is. They acting like that this equipment that these contractors is using is like building a rocket ship. It's not like building a rocket ship. You can learn to use all the equipment that they have in one day. It's not difficult. And for people who say, oh, you never was a cleaner, you don't know about, I did cleaning in a school for 10 years. I worked for the Department of Education for 10 years. Even when I was a fireman for the Department of Education, I still did the cleaning. So you could learn all this equipment within a day. It's not rocket science. Only thing the MTA need to do is buy the equipment, train you guys, and then send you guys on your merry way and roll out the red carpet like they do the contractors. Now let me see something, because I think it was something. It's the next page. Let me get to that. I want to focus on number 9. New York City Transit will be precluded from laying off any person in the station cleaner title for the duration of the collective bargaining agreement. Can someone explain to me why this wasn't included for the station agents for the same department? Can someone explain to me why they didn't get that same language? I'm confused as to why station agents couldn't get that same language. I think that station agents need it more than anyone. You know, it's pretty mind-boggling as to why this happened. I need to give me 1 second. But this contract, man, this may have been one of the worst contracts that Local 100 members have seen in a long time. It's a committee for hazard pay. Why isn't that in the contract? We need a committee for assaults. Why isn't there a committee for assaults between union, NYPD, and management? We need a committee for 12-9s. Why isn't there a committee to study the effects 12-9s have on operating crews and and things of that nature. Where are those committees? Those are the committees that we need. And don't get it twisted. Every committee, hold on a second. Every committee in this agreement is a concession. Every single last committee in this agreement is a concession for the simple fact it doesn't advance the causes of Local 100 members. It does not. A committee does not advance the causes of Local 100 members, especially when these committees that they forming after the contract could have been handled during the contract. Like, what were they really doing during negotiations? This contract is filled with nothing but committees, and the committee is a concession because it did not advance our causes at all. This is far from a great contract. This is a bad contract. The raises don't add up to par. The health benefits, yeah, they fool you in the front and get you in the back. The departmentals suck. I didn't see anything in there for track or CED really. And you guys work hard and things of that nature. I don't understand as to why you guys would even think about fathom voting yes for this. This should be a resounding no. And don't get it twisted. If we say no, only thing we are doing is telling our union leaders to go back to the table and do a better job. Just because if they say this is the hardest they tried and this is the best that they could have done, we got to remember those words. We got to tell them to put that in writing, put that on video. Let them say that this is the best that they could do. This is the best that they could have fought for. So next election, we could remember that and we could play that over and over and over again because these guys sold us out. I'm very disappointed in Donald Yates. Me and him was having a conversation via Messenger, and he was trying to tell me something. Let me go to the message because you guys really need to hear what he was trying to tell me. He told me to do some research on the economy from 2002 to present and let me know if you see any differences. I realize that your glass is full and you aren't willing to learn from someone like me who actually cares nothing about the politics. See, that's the problem. Donald Yates don't know nothing about politics. And his issue is, why is he trying to smoke screen? Because you guys need to pay attention what he's trying to do. Why is he trying to smoke screen to 2002 and the economy back then? The economy was bad in 2008, 2009 during the recession. There wasn't a recession in 2002. The economy was bad in 2008, 2009, and we got raises. We got 3-year raises better than what we got in these 4-year raises. So what is he talking about the economy? This is what I tell you about these guys. Yes, Yates may be good and helpful and talking smack to the TA and helping beat back some of the stuff, but Yates is not a politician. It's obvious. It's very obvious he's not that intelligent. Yes, he's good at being a soldier. Excellent at being a soldier because that's what he is. He's being a soldier right now. Selling this sellout contract and don't want to talk about it on a platform with someone who's knowledgeable. I'm quite sure if someone else asks any one of them to come on their platform or be interviewed on their platform, they're going to run to it because they know that these guys do not know the issues like I know the issues. They don't do the research like how I do the research. So I'm expecting them to run there, but they would not come to this ground or whatever the case is. Matter of fact, hold on one second. We go get straight to it, man. We go see what's going on here. Give me 1 second. Gotta find something real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Y'all go love this. I'm telling y'all go love this one. We gonna get down to the bottom of this. Let me see what's going on here. Y'all go love this one. Stay tuned. Give me 1 second. One second. Trust me, y'all go love this one. I'm dead serious. I do not like what's going on. We go get. I gotta fly y'all in on something, man. I gotta fly y'all in on something. Y'all go love this one. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Yeah, y'all go love this. We gonna see what's really. We gonna see what's really going on. Check this out. We're gonna see what's up.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 347-680-000.
I just tried to call Utano, man. I want to ask him why he sold us out. I want to know why he sold us out. And look, check it out. For the record, Utano work for us, man. We don't work for him. He got some answering to do. He could be the head of the union. Yeah, he control his administration, but he don't control the members. The members are his boss. So we're going to call for some answers. And if anyone wants to find out why he sold us out, his number is 347-680-0053. Call him and ask him why he sold us out. I tried to call him live on the show. Call him and ask him why he sold us out. No more of that corny sucker stuff is going on. We going straight to the source on these guys. So if you want to know, you want to call Utano, text him, do whatever. 347-680-0053. He owe us an explanation. Blow up his phone. I wish he would have picked up. These guys, they've been getting away with it for too long. They know that we don't really care. They feel that they could sell us anything, and we're gonna just go along and just ride with it, man. We not doing that any longer. No longer. Make sure y'all vote no for this contract. Make sure you guys share out this video. I took a lot of time breaking down this contract. In the description of this video, you will see a donation link and button. Donate to the platform, because you want to know what? They charging me for minutes now. In order for me to go live on all these different platforms, they charging me for minutes. So I definitely need the donations. It will help out greatly. The donation is in the description of the video. And continue to spread the word about progressive action. We doing the work that these people do not want to do. We making it happen. We feet to the ground. We're not playing around. Remember to vote no. Vote no. Vote no. I'll catch y'all guys later. Peace.